So today we're going to be continuing with where we left off yesterday. So we made a start on creating the initial game loop, so the main menu, new game selection screen, and actually going into the game. So today we're going to be working a bit more on the new game selection screen, and that's going to involve working with some data tables. So the plan for today, we're going to refine the rough flowchart we made yesterday. So just going to go into that, and it's still just going to be a rough, just jotting things down. That could be a pen and paper, whatever. Create the data structure for holding the levels. So we need to create the actual rows that will contain the pointer to the level, level name, level description, all the stuff that will be displayed in the actual menu. Then we need to create the database and populate it with a couple of items. So we'll just create some template maps, just add a couple of entries. Then we need to create the UI element. So we've already created the main container widget for the new game selection screen. So this will be a widget that will act as a container. So it'll be like a vertical box. Then we need to have another widget that is for each entry. So for each level, you'll add one of those to the container. And then the container element will have that database. It'll iterate through the rows in that database and add an entry for each of those elements. So that's kind of a rough idea. So here's where we left this before. So our new game screen. I'm going to move this out. And again, this isn't trying to be neat, it's just jotting down what we actually need. So we're going to need Ftable row base, so that's going to be the actual row data. So that's going to have like pointer to level name, description, etc. I'm going to need a data table. We need a container UI, so that might be something like just playable level container. Okay. Then we need to create our entries. So level entry. So that'll be a UI element. That should be about right for now. So what I'm hoping to achieve today is just have the widget be populated. Then if we get to that point, we'll worry about them actually doing something after that. So first kind of iffy part then is to try and create the table row, because it's surprisingly a bit awkward to just add a struct to the game. So what we're going to do is basically going to create a U object. So we'll create the C++ project files, or the generated files, and we'll just convert that into a struct. It's a little janky, but that's the way to do it. One way to do it. So I'm going to do this. We want a data folder. And we'll create a new class. so list the rows of playable level. Playable level row. Yeah, that should be okay. Class. So this where it gets a little awkward. That should now be in here. Yeah. So we can delete that. Delete that. And we're going to convert this class to a struct. So we can get rid of that. Change this to be a struct. We'll also change the name convention. I'm not going to use that just now. Okay, so what we then need to do is save that. And delete that CCP file. Then generate project files. Hopefully this will do it. Okay, now we should just have that header file for the struct. Okay, cool. Let's try building that now. Taking its time. Cool. Right. So now we want to convert this into a data table row. So we're going to be using ftable row base, and this will also give us the include that we need, which is this. Cool. So we're going to need a pointer to a level, which we can select in Blueprint Editor or in the editor. We'll give it a F name, just as a pretty menu name, and we might add like F text for description, No. Your telesence doesn't really play. To soft it's going to be a type U level. So this would be the level that will get streamed in when we actually start the game. So we want to be able to edit in ahead of time. Click and read only. Okay. Same for name. That's just a human readable name for the menu. And pretty much same this. And then okey-dokey. So hopefully we should now be able to create a data table. We shall see though. So we go to data, miscellaneous, data table. And there we go, playable level row. Cool. Okay. Sweet. Alright. Cool. So now we can see we can choose levels here, can enter a name. So with that, let's create probably in-game. And it's just going to be empty levels for now. Basic. Cool. Just gives us something to put into that database. Okay, so first row. Okay. Might need to just change this. Let's call it this way. think what we need to do instead is actually pointer. There we go. Nope. Tell you what, let's just go all the way. Let's see what does that. Goody. Should be this really. Well done. Okay. Let's maybe try it. Okay. So what we're going to do then, I'm going to create a temporary struct in Blueprint. And let's try and figure out which I need it to be. Your world. There we go. Good old ChatGPT. Okay. Ridiculous. So, let's go this. So, level 1. Next one. Okay, cool. What was that? Those. Alrighty. So, what do we need to do next? So we've had a look at the flowchart. We've created the data structure for holding levels, some data. We've created the database and we've populated it with a couple of items. Now we need to create the container widget. Okay, so let's do that. So it's going to be under widgets. Yeah. It's going to be use widget. And it's going to be so it's going to contain the individual entries. And while we're at it, we may as well make the individual entry widget. Okay. There's that. This. So this is a container. Okay. So we've already got the new game selection screen widget set up. This is going to be added to that widget, but this is going to manage controlling the individual entries. And we also made level entry. Okay, so this will be the individual entries for each level found in that database. Okay. And while we're here, we're going to put the data table reference in here, so that if later on we need to use it in C++, it's there, and we're not trying to transfer it over from blueprints. So just going to look at the code we need. So take a look here, new data table, engine data table. But just, once we set it in the editor, we shouldn't really be making any changes to the database, we should just be reading it. So that should be fine. Cool. And while we're at it, let's just include the actual row. So that's going to be under data. And that's because it needs to be quite common. It's been like that for ages. A bit annoying, but there you go. Okay, so let's now make those blueprint versions of those. Pre-game widgets. This one as well. Okay, so we look in the graph now, we should be able to assign that database. Cool. So for example, we can now use that. We search for this. We can now iterate over like so, in a typical way. So that will iterate for all the rows, and now we'll be able to get that data, and we'll be able to add an entry for each of those rows, which is good. But first we will just delete this one out. We'll add this to our new game selection widget. So this is the actual main widget. Just going to reorganize this slightly. So I'm going to put a horizontal box on I'm going to change this a little bit. So we've got so I'm just going to restructure this a little bit. Let's go for a second. Okay. that. Okay, let's put this along the bottom. Cool. Anyway, don't worry about that later. So, we want to add our container level, BP level entry container. Okay. Just to make sure that is working, let's just like this. Some text in it. So this should now show up. Yeah, cool, there it is. Right, good. That's all working. Okay, so this is going to be a scroll box, maybe. Good. Again, just to make sure it's all good. That's that. Yeah, right, cool. Good. Right on. So we've created the UI element that will be in the container, the level entries. Let's create the entry element then. So we have for now this would just be like a button basically. Some text on it. We'll worry about populating the data afterwards. Okay. So for example now, level entry, yeah, so we should in theory be able to add those like so, but we'll do that dynamically. Cool. Alright, so we're in the level entry container. We have a variable to this container scroll box. Okay. And we should also have access to this. Okay, cool. So construct or pre-construct. Probably construct. Ah, we'll see. So let's create a function. again. Just push. Yep, okay, cool. Good. So we've got our data table. Get those. Get the row full up. From that. So we're getting the keys for each of the row, iterating for those, and then for each key found, we're getting a row with that key. So that's enabling us to iterate over each of the rows. Okay. And this is that structure we made earlier. And we might be able to just promote to local variable. So that's how later on, when we create the entries, we'll use this data to populate it. For now, we're just going to add it. So we'll ignore that for now. So let's get rid of it. Table level entry. Okay. Then I want to take our container and drop. That should pretty much be it. Should actually just work. So iterating through all the rows of the database, and for each row found, for now we're just creating a entry widget and adding that to the container square box. So let's see if that is working. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So now if I add a new duplicate this. Yeah, I'll do data. Let's add this to this. So now our menu should update with this. Cool, good. Happy days. Just add a little bit of padding to that button. Okay. Okay, I need to put on the panel first. Content, to populate that info. One way we could do that is to let's go back here. So we've got our individual level entries. We've got access to so we've got access to that data when we're creating the individual entries. So we can then just feed that data into it. We could potentially use the actual row structure, and so then if that changes, we can just pass that into it. That might be quite good to do actually. So let's start with that, and we'll take a look at making it instance editable and then passing that into it on creation. So let's go back to that. Table level entry, and it's going to need reference to the row. We're going to want to store that. Okay, so can't quite remember how to make it expose on small. Good old ChatGPT again. Okay, so it's just a meta tag, apparently. Cool. Cool. Expose and spawn. Yeah. So when we, hopefully, now what we should see in editor is the option to feed that row directly into it. No. Second. hopefully now, if we take a look at this. Oh yeah, cool. So it's added this input, playable level row data, and a vary. Yeah, just plug that straight in. Cool. Okey-dokey. So now what it actually does with that data, should now be able to come here. Should be able to access that now. So run construct. What do we call it? Playable level row data. Okay, cool. Let's just do this. Okay, and something like populate row info. And just for now, let's take this text. Text level. Variable, yep. We should be able to set text now. Okay. Name, that'll convert that. Let's see if that's working. Cool, good. So it's now displaying the correct text. Each button also has that pointer to the level, so we'll be able to do something with that. Good, cool. That'll be the next part then. So we've kind of iterated the database and added an entry for each item. So I've gone ahead and done that now. So the next part will be to, when we click that button, to actually do something with that. So there's probably going to be some kind of selection container, and we're going to add that specific button's pointer to a map to that container, and then when we start the game we will be able to load in the correct level. That should be good. Cool. Happy days. So I'll end that there and go from there tomorrow.